to another episode of the Tori Creates podcast, episode 68. I am Tori. I hail from southern Wisconsin, just north of Janesville and south of Madison-ish, in that area. It is a lovely snowy Saturday, January 6th. I don't even know. And yeah, I figured I would stop in and share some things that I have made before this episode gets to be an hour long, again, like the last few have been, because it's been so long since I've shared. So yeah, once again, we're gonna forego show notes, mainly because my Ravelry page is horribly behind, and I need to work on that. So this is gonna be as current as it gets, and then I need to go in and update Ravelry. So we're just going to wing it today. We will start with the finished object, but not finished object that I am wearing. And I can stand up for you here. Ignore all the chaos around me. I've been wearing like 20 layers of shirt. But I finished-ish, maybe, this granny square monstrosity. It's actually pretty comfortable. Everything is crocheted minus the sleeves and the hem, which I knit in ribbing. And yeah, so this is one of those giant hexagon sweaters. However, when I started this project, I think last you saw it as I had 2 hexagons, and I made them way too big. Way too big, because everybody that makes them online are skinny. So I needed to do the adjustment that a lot of people did for a larger size, which was make a smaller hexagon and then crochet bands down the center. And then I decided I wanted it a closed sweater. I say mostly finished because you'll notice I put ties on here. I want to crochet a hood for it. I think that would be fun. I mean, to each their own. I think it looks cute. My husband thinks it looks crazy. That's fine. But yeah. So the variegated yarn is Hobby Lobby. I heart this yarn, and then the brown is Red Heart. I don't have color names. I don't even know if I have the ball bands anymore. But yeah, I did 2 hexagons, sewed them together with bands in the middle, and added ties in this little divider. And I would like to crochet a hood, and then it will be done. But for now, I am just wearing it because it is cold, and this is warm and cozy. And I have 2 other layers of shirt underneath here. But anyway, that is the first kind of finished object. The second finished object I have, I don't think I had last time, is I wanted a hat. Truthfully, this is not how I wanted my hat to turn out. I have knit this hat before. I think it's called the February hat, but I don't remember. It's a free pattern. And the last one I knit out of Knit Picks, and I think it was like a wool of the Andes, but it's kind of itchy on my forehead. So I wanted to knit it again. The problem is, last time I knit it out of sport weight, and the pattern is supposed to be knit in worsted weight, and I didn't even think about it. I just knit in worsted weight. And obviously the one knit in sport weight is going to have more negative ease, and I like the fit better. So this is fine. It is extremely slouchy, but it is very warm. This is just some Red Heart. I think I still have the tag on my desk, maybe? I do. No, this is Lion Brand Heartland in Congaree. I don't know. But it's just acrylic yarn. It's very soft, and like, this is very warm, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm going to wear it, but I think I need to knit another hat. I might just wing it with some different yarn, thinner yarn, and then knit 8 more. Snug fitting hat. But it's a hat. It fits. It's very warm and comfortable. I had a headache last night, and I put this on in the house actually, and it helped, which is weird which makes me wonder if it was the beginning of a migraine or something. I don't know. And I was able to fend it off, but it's very cute. And I mean, look at all that texture. Look at all that texture. This has not been blocked. I didn't bother. It's acrylic. I just put it on and I've been wearing it. So neither is this, by the way. So yeah, those are my 2 finished objects. And oh, I winged this. There is no pattern. I winged it. It's a hexagon shaped granny square. So you just do 6 sides instead of 4 when you're making your granny square. And everything else, yeah, I just kind of winged it. So works in progress. Actually, I have a finished object attached to my works in progress. So we'll start with that. So I'm gonna take this off because it's a progress keeper, but I just moved it recently. I decided that micro crochet sounded super fun. And I crocheted myself the littlest, tiniest lime. So this is the same lime or lemon pattern that I used to make that stuffed toy in my last episode that I shared for my friend little boy. And I divided embroidery floss strands in half. So this is 3 out of 6 strands of a strand of embroidery floss. And I crocheted this tiny little lime, and I decided it needed to become a progress keeper. So I put it on a lobster clasp because I have a bazillion of these, because at one point I decided I was going to make stitch markers and sell them online. Obviously I never did that. So I have a ton, but they come in handy because I really like making stitch markers for myself. So I finished that, and I've been using it as a progress keeper, and I ended up actually stuffing it with, I saved all my scraps of felt when I made those ornaments, and I've just been cutting that up really fine because, like, for something like this, you're not really concerned about how soft and squishy it's going to be. And actually, because I cut the felt up really small before I put it in here, it is extremely soft and squishy, but like, it's not like a stuffed animal, so you don't have to have the same level of floofiness for it. So I've been using that, and I actually have a box of embroidery floss out because I want to crochet another one, and then maybe one of those tiny little mushroom patterns, because they're really fun and they're really light, so you don't even notice them on your knitting. And with that, we'll go on to works in progress. I pretty much only have one. Because I have one other finished object. We'll do this and then I'll show that. But this is the Gib, and I think this is just the Gib, not the Gib 2. And this is by Andrea Mowry. This is an all over texture sweater pattern, and I'm knitting it hopefully to be slightly oversized. If it isn't, it's fine, then it'll just fit just right. This is out of, I think this is Lion Brand Pound of Love in like a mustard color. I don't remember what the color name is. And I have officially separated the sleeves and started on the body. I'm like 2 rows into the body. But it's got this textured stitch, and then it's got cables for the raglan increases for the shoulders and the sleeves. So, yeah, it's got a nice stretchy collar that looks like it'll be nice and warm, and it's a very squishy texture. Very squishy. Like, this is 100% acrylic, so I could throw this in the washer too, so it's easy care. And I know it would be warmer if it's wool, but I think it'll be perfect because it's so squishy. Like, whatever this texture is, almost like a moss stitch, frankly. But yeah, so I've been working on this. Last you saw it, I was probably only about like this far, because I hadn't really been working on it, and I picked it up now that all of my gift knitting is done. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I've been knitting it at work a lot too. And my beginning of row marker is this little stitch marker I made with tiny like beads. Kind of like, you know, Beady Buddy back in the day. I want to make some more of these because I love these things. They're so cute. But yeah, that is my work in progress. This is still just ball of yarn number 1. I don't know if I'll use part of the second ball, probably. But I have 2 of these. And yeah, plenty of yarn to go around. So I have been working on that and really enjoying it actually. And now that I'm to the body, whoops, just bumped what I was going to show you next, or one of the things I was going to show you next. But now that I'm onto the body, there's no more cables, so I don't really need a pattern chart anymore. So, beverage break. And the Maisie mug. So actually, my other thing that I almost forgot to share you, I will insert a clip here that I took earlier, but I crocheted a blanket for Lady, our lovely gray cat. I realized Midnight has some blankets because we got her first. Captain's got a blanket. He didn't get his blanket till last year, but we had Lady at the same time. Captain's got a blanket. Lady does not have a blanket. So my coworker had given me a bunch of yarn a while back. If there's yarn she doesn't like using as much, she'll pass it on to me and my other coworker because we knit and crochet. And she asked if I'd be interested, and she did like a monster ball like I do for my granny stripe blanket, and it was just a whole bunch of yarn mixed together. And I said, sure, I'd absolutely make something with it. And I thought, because I've been kind of excited to use it, frankly, because it's fun. I crocheted Lady a blanket. So you're probably watching the video now, but I just did a giant granny square, and I used up all but a little bit ball of the remaining red because I couldn't get another round out of it. And so that went into the stash, and she's actually sitting behind me in her chair, all snuggled up in her blankie, and she loves it. And actually, this is the first blankie she'll let me cover her up in if she's napping. I have tried covering her up in like her polar fleece blanket, or we've got this really soft blanket that I put on the chair for her. And she won't let me cover her up in those, but this one, if she is ready to sleep, she will let me cover it up. And I know part of that is because we did have to shave her a while back, so her fur's slowly growing in, but she's cold. But I'm glad that she lets me cover her up in this cute little blankie, because it's so cute, and she's so snuggly. And sometimes she just starts purring if I'm in here, so I know she likes it. But yeah, those are my finished objects, fiber wise. So then I will go into, I have one random one wild card, which is these. So these are, I saw this online. These are little fidget cubes. All they are pony beads and clear elastic, but the key is they are clear elastic, so you can like squish them around and then put them back into the shape of a cube. And they're fun. They're fun to play with. I like little things that I can play with, and for some reason these are a lot like making Beady Buddies, which I used to love to make. So obviously I made one, and then I wanted to make a bazillion of them. So let's see, we've got clear, we've got green and turquoise, we've got sparkly and purple, we've got all silver sparkles, all gold sparkles, clear and orange, clear and pink sparkly, glow in the dark and matte teal, glow in the dark and green, all kinds of blues. There's more. I've got this guy, oranges, got like a mixed color one, and then I did two. I have a whole bunch of pony beads that I separated out from my bead stash, and I just made 2 wild cards. I also made I had a bunch of these were separated out from all the other beads from a project, so I made 2 more of these and gave them to a coworker because she likes little things that you can play with too. So yeah, I made a ton of these. Oh, you know, I think I made one more, but it's somewhere else, and it was just a smaller one. But yeah, I made a ton of these. They brought me so much joy when I made them, and I mean, they still bring me joy. Like, they're just so satisfying. Look at all those. But yeah, just something fun. So then the other thing I wanted to move into, because this is gonna be a nice short episode, I think. Last thing I have to share is something I got, a couple things I got for Christmas. So I guess we could say stash enhancements, but not really. I think I shared with you the cookbook last time because we got the, I think I had that before I filmed last. But Justin got me a needle felting kit, which I'm very excited about. I've started messing with it, but it came with like little, they call them like little tiny hand carders. And what I was messing with is I have seen people taking acrylic yarn, brushing it, and then spinning it. So I have started experimenting with brushing acrylic fibers out so that I can blend them and respin them. And if that doesn't work, here's the thing. This is so fluffy. This would make fantastic filling for stuffies. So either way, I'm going to continue on with this. I've got this cute, Justin got me this cute little like box, Christmas box, and I have the fiber in there right now. I think I'll just leave it in there because it's cute. Reminds me of Mom. Like, come on. Cute. So I have experimented with that, and I'm going to continue to experiment with that because it's kind of fun. And like I said, even if I can't spin with it, although I've seen people online do it, I'm not sure how they processed it. I can use it as fiber fill for stuffies, so waste nothing. The other thing I wanted to share is I have been struggling. I have had a Knit Picks ball winder for forever, and no shade to Knit Picks, nothing wrong with it. It just broke, and honestly, I think it broke in one of my moves. So I had kind of jury-rigged it. It still works, but the base of it broke, so it doesn't sit flat on a table, and it like flies all over the place, and it's kind of hard to use. Justin got me an electric ball winder in purple. What's extra nice is that this bracket is bigger, so it actually fits on my desk, because my desk is like a very thick tabletop, and this fits on my desk. It's electric, and it's a larger capacity one. I love it. It works great. When I was unwinding some of this sweater, because I did the granny stripe too big, I just let it go, and it was unwinding my sweater for me, and I was standing here, like, obviously guiding the yarn a little bit, but made it so easy. So it has been great. But yeah, the last thing I wanted to share is a future upcoming crafty project that I want to do. As you can see, I've got some random fabric here. So I had gotten my mom's fabric stash. And I've got it all in the closet in our library room. And I just went in and pulled out some quilting cotton, just some random patterns. I'm sure this was probably destined to be something for little me at some point that we didn't do, but I'm pretty sure this is scraps to something, to leftovers to a project. And then I think this one is too. It's like a grunge pattern almost over this like florally pattern. I want to make some cotton napkins. Mainly because we use so many paper products, and I've seen a lot of people online making cotton napkins, and I know I have some that I've purchased, but I just thought it would be so fun to make some. So I'm gonna make a couple. So one of the gals that I've seen make them is Marilisa Lugo. She has made these on a project, Girl Meets Yarn. Also Jacqueline Salem. She's done hers in linen actually, but Marilisa did hers in cotton, quilting cotton. And I thought, I have a ton of this, which I'm not necessarily going to want to turn into garments because it's stiff. And I've debated trying quilting a little bit, but that's a later me problem. This is a small project that I can easily do, cut out and sew and not have to worry about it. So I picked these 3 prints. I'm not going to make all of it into napkins, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try making them and see. I know they're not going to be like super absorbent, so they're not going to replace, like fully replace paper towel or rags or something like that. But I want to make some. I think it'll be fun. And I mean, these patterns are obviously very me, so I'll use them all the time, but they'll be perfect for spring if I can actually make them. But so we'll see. I'm trying to think, is there anything else other than that? No. I'm just trying to look around. I tidied my studio a little bit so I can see the floor again, so that's great. Otherwise, it's the new year. Christmas decorations have gone down, which is sad. I actually took down the bulk of the Christmas decorations at my work yesterday. But yeah, it's snowing. It hasn't really snowed here hardly at all. So it has begun. And yeah, hopefully I can just keep this going because I want to knit more. I want to do a lot more creative projects more. I want to use Procreate on my iPad. I want to make stickers. I want to make art. I want to crochet. I want to knit. I want to spin. I want to sew. But it just depends on the day. So, I think I'm going to leave you here. If you got this far, thank you. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, comment below, share it with your friends so we can grow this little family on the interwebs. You can find me on Instagram as Tori Schaffner. I'm on Facebook as Victoria Schaffner and Willie Mastodon. I'm on Ravelry as lilwestie, lilwestie, and I'm on here on YouTube, of course. And then I do have the blog, williemastodon.wordpress.com. I am not really using it right now because I am foregoing show notes, which if you don't like that, let me know. If you don't care, let me know. If you ever want to know about something and obviously I don't have anything linked or in show notes, let me know and I will link it for you or I'll find it. And yeah, with that, I hope you have a wonderful couple weeks. Maybe we can keep this podcast train going. And I will see you in the next one. Happy winter. Bye.